Tyron, how much do you like this matchup? I mean, over the course of the last few fights compared to those, how confident are you about this one?
To be honest, every matchup presents their different obstacles and there are different ways where I feel like I have a competitive advantage. Obviously, Wonder Boy, I felt like I was more explosive. I can always threaten with the wrestling to hesitate, any type of striking. I wasn't overly aggressive like the guys that did before that got knocked out when they blitzed forward on a karate fighter and, he throws a combination kick him in the head. I was a better wrestler than Damian Maya. He had a hard time getting me to the ground. Obviously, it didn't fare well for him if he tried to stand up and strike with me. And in this fight, I feel like I got the experience, I got the wisdom, I punch harder, I'm a better boxer, and also I feel like the wrestling and grappling is not even close. Plus, he's never had experience with fighting as many consistent, you know, giants in the sport that I have. So I feel like this fight I have quite a few more competitive advantages, but also he's a young fighter that's really hungry, and I think he really and honestly believes he can beat me. And I think he thinks he's going to be a world champion. And when you get somebody that's really just sold on that thought, that's a dangerous opponent. And if you don't take them serious, I think that's the way he's been able to come out, beat guys that may have more experience than him.
Yeah, do you see this as an entertaining stand-up scrap?
All my fights are entertaining. If you want me to jump on the ground and grapple with Damian Maya, I'll be an idiot. If you want me to go out there and blitz Wonderboy Thompson, I'd be an idiot. A lot of these fighters should pay me because I wrote the blueprint on how to beat Damian Maya and how to beat Wonderboy and how to beat Robbie Lawler. I'll brawl the brawler, I'll grapple the grappler, I'll point fighter. If you watch any of my fights, I'm really beating the guys not only at what they do best, but I don't even have to use my background, which is wrestling. So it's been a blessing in disguise that I've trained the way that I've trained, that I've had the coaches that I've had that prepared me 8 years ago for right now.
I don't know if you've heard any of what Phil said the other day.
I'm about to say anything.
He actually said what you just brought up about that. A lot of people say that, Tyron's got great power, he's so fast, but Phil said that your best attribute is actually your intelligence. And not a lot of people give you that credit. What do you make of that?
The thing I've noticed about Till is that Till, I didn't know how the Wonderboy fight was going to go because he's really aggressive. And if you look at everybody, Robert Whitaker and all these guys that was extremely aggressive against Wonderboy, he caught them on the way back, knocking them out on the way back with head kicks and striking combinations. I didn't know a lot about Till, and the fact that he was patient and he fought Wonderboy at distance and he took his time for a young fighter who had never fought, as far as our knowledge, a 5-round fight against a number one contender guy that fought for 2 world titles. He showed me a lot that he's not just this knockout artist. He's a lot smarter than what he gets credit for. But that's always been my ace in my back pocket. If guys want to think I'm just this strong, powerful wrestler with extra calf muscle and I can just run through people and I need the first round to knock you out, then that's been their demise. You got in the octagon and always saw it's different. So I feel the same way. I feel like I got to make my game plan of what I'm doing based upon an intelligent fighter breaking me down and seeing his weaknesses and seeing what he can exploit on me. The only difference is you've seen me wrestling matches, you see me striking matches, you see me grappling matches, you see me brawling matches, you see me, have to put on the thinking cap and have a chess match. He has one style to fight. He has one way to win this fight. And if you add in his, youth and you add in his hunger and his confidence, he's a very difficult matchup. But I think I have so many different ways to win this fight. Confidence ain't enough. Being tough ain't enough. I want it just as much as he wants it. I don't want to be a challenger again. Life as a champion and life as a challenger are two separate things. And I want to continue to have a platform to use to, inspire, to motivate, to do positive things with. I want to consistently be able to provide a lifestyle for my family where they have opportunities that I didn't have as a kid, and he wants to take that from me. So now it's home.
So a lot of people kind of were critical of his performance against Wonderboy.
I wasn't.
I was going to say you were impressed by that.
I wasn't critical. It was moments in time where, he could have won a little bit more, but it's moments in time in the fight where people can look and say, Tyron could have won a little bit more. I wasn't critical on it from the standpoint that he did his research, he did his homework. He found something that was working for him in that fight. I'm not going to disclose it because I'm pretty sure he's going to try to do the same thing to me. But he found something that was working in that fight, and he stayed on it, and it changed the fight. He landed the one knockdown. Had he not won the knockdown, he'd have lost the fight. He was losing that round before. He was losing that round after the knockdown. And though he didn't follow up and do a lot of damage after that, that one knockdown really secured the fight. So he was patient enough to do that. He has really good timing, too. He times guys well. He'll give you an illusion that you're closer to what you are. And he's a sniper with his left hand. So Wonder Boy does that as well. But Wonder Boy didn't have the power that he had. So I think those are the things he has going for him. So I'm ready, man. I'm ready to roll.
Tyron, in another interview, I saw you say that you consider the fight almost personal. Like,
This
usually
is
a fight's
personal.
either personal
Yeah.
or it isn't. What makes it almost personal?
Well, I don't think I said it's almost personal. I think I said it's personal. You know, when you look at a fighter and what they've done in the sport, you look at Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler's going to be credited more than I am. And I knocked him out in 46 seconds. So is Carlos Condit. So is Kasha. So is all these other guys that I fought. When did people gonna start putting the K at the end of the respect of my name? You know, it hasn't really happened yet. So once again, it's not the first young, undefeated fighter I fought. Kelvin Gastelum was that guy too, right? He had what it took to be, oh, he's young, he can wrestle, da-da-da. So I'm right back in the same position. And it's so funny that I consistently end up in the same position. Where the people that I'm facing are the ones that they're looking so far ahead. If Robbie beats Tyron, maybe he'll fight Madison Square Garden against Conor. Or if this guy, if Kelvin Gastelum beats Tyron, then he'll fight for a world title. And I'm pretty sure it was a lot of plans for Wonder Boy. He fit the mold at the time. Blue eyes, spiky hair, crazy striking, young, all-American kid. At that time, that's when the page, the sage, that's when that mold was going through. So once again, I'll be the spoiler. I'll mess up the plans, and I'll continue to be the world champion.
Why do you think that hasn't gone away? Like, how much do you have to do to get...
My whole life has been that way. I'm used to it. I've been that way since a kid. Everybody told me I was too small. I wasn't going to be able to do it. You know what I mean? This person is going to beat me. I shouldn't go to this college. And I've always proved everybody wrong. Proved everybody that supported me right.
Have you
feel
already
Till-
started?
I'm sorry. Do you feel like Till is the guy they're kind of pushing now? It's Liverpool, you know, got the UK
18,000 sales in Liverpool. They want to go back to the O2 Arena. He's talking shit, sounding like Conor McGregor. And they're screaming on the mic. I mean, you can answer that question.
With his weight issue, have you already started thinking about the possibility if he
I
comes
get
in over
that.
what you're gonna do?
I get that done before I sign the fight.
What's the deal?
So I got that all figured out before I signed the fight because I'm a fighter that likes to focus on the fight. I don't want to focus on him making weight that's out of my control. I'm gonna make weight. Tell me when you see me step on the scale and it didn't say 170 or less. So
Right.
I'm a professional. I'm gonna do what I have to do to make weight. Whether he weighs 170 or 176, he's still gonna get his ass whooped on the 17
We'll
weight.
fight him.
So, I mean, that's something that he has to deal with, and his body is gonna be the body that's beat up from cutting all that weight. Probably not doing it the right way. So, if anything, it's gonna be to my benefit that he doesn't make weight.
Do you think he's kind of greasing the skids for an excuse by talking about, that welterweight may not be his weight class?
No, I mean, he's honest. He's 24. And he's too big for the weight now. And, when you get 24, 25, between 26 and 27, you hit this random weird growth spurt. I did that. I used to walk around at 185. And 170 used to be a breeze. Then 26, boom, I jumped to 200 pounds. And it just happens to all of us, So I think that the division, welterweight is probably the toughest division in the UFC right now. The competition is not going to start going down at any point in time. And if you look at middleweight, he's their size already. There's not that many great strikers outside of Robert Whittaker that are right there on the forefront.
Right.
I mean, you do have the Luke Rockholds and things like that, but these fighters are kind of going back and forth, the wins and losses. So for a young fighter that's hungry like him, look at Kelvin Gastelum. I mean, he lost. People forget he lost. Got submitted by Chris Weidman. Now he's up for a title shot because of his draw in the Hispanic community. What is a kid, that can sell 18,000 seats in Liverpool? What does his draw do in the middleweight division? So, I mean, I'm not here to try to plan out his future and to be his manager, but I don't think he's trying to make an excuse. I think he just stepped on the scale and the number that he saw was a real number.
if let's say he can't even make the scale. Let's say he gets sick, he can't make the scale.
I'm already ready to fight him. I'm already trained. I don't do that bullshit fighting somebody 24 hours. This is not a joke to me. I train my ass off. I put myself in a position to be successful. What other champion have you ever seen that done for? Name me one. Name me another champion that defended his belt 3 times in a year and had 4 world title fights. And then had an interim title put in before 1 year expired. Name me another one. I'm not the exception. I'm not about the bullshit. Will I fight Usman? Yeah, I will fight Usman. I will fight Usman on a full training camp. I'll fight anybody on a full training camp. I'll fight you on a full training camp. But I'm not the guy. This is not a circus to me. You're not gonna have me prepare for a 6'3" striker southpaw, and then 24 hours before the fight, because this motherfucker missed weight and he a professional. Now I gotta fight a 5'10" switch stance wrestler. No, you're not gonna waste my time. You're not gonna waste my money that I fork into training camps. You're not gonna add this one crazy variable and make me feel like I'm the punk or I'm the pansy for not taking the fight. No, it's not gonna happen. So if he's making money for making weight, congratulations. You got a couple free bags. But when it comes down to the fight, September 8th, I'm fighting Darren Till. If he makes weight, he makes weight. If he doesn't make weight, it's not mentally going to disturb me. I'm not like, oh, I'm banking on him missing weight. What happens if you make weight? Now, I thought he was going to miss weight. No, I don't do those games.
Would there be or no fight at all?
It's Till or no fight at all. I don't even know why they even did that.
Monday we had lunch with Robert Whittaker.
Yeah.
Just mentioned him, and he agrees with you. He said, look, having a backup fighter, he thought was ridiculous because he said, otherwise, why don't we just fight next Monday? Why have a whole training camp if you're not going to utilize the strategy that you put in your training?
Yeah, why would you, it's a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of sacrifice, time away from your family. It's not cheap. Like I don't cut corners on my training camp. I spend tens of thousands, 50, 60 grand on the training camp. You think I'm gonna just blow that money down the drain to jump and fight somebody that's watching both of us, that's training to fight both of us, that he can come with no pressure and just step in and try to seize the moment and you become a world champion? How many times in the NCAA basketball tournament or the NBA playoffs you see, okay, you know what? Golden State can't make it in. Cleveland, you back in the game. You never see that happen. So you want us to be respected as a sport. You want us to be, showcased with the other professional sports. Let's start being professional again. It's not bingo. Like 176 today. It's 170. If you can't make it, move up.
Whittaker shares the same opinion. So
Yeah.
You're not the only champion.
Yeah, and it's bad that if we decide that it's not to our benefit to take a fight with somebody on 24-hour notice that's a completely different opponent, then we're put out. Now it's our fault. We forget that this motherfucker just missed weight. We forget that, and we automatically go to. I've had this situation before. Kelvin Gastelum missed weight by 10 pounds. He didn't even try. And what did I get? I get put into a situation where now I felt as if, maybe it was their intent or not, but I felt at that point that was coming down on me. Hold on, I'm the one that made weight. I'm the professional one. Johnny Hendricks, the same thing. He didn't make weight. I'm in there cutting weight. They call me when I get to my last pound, I'm done. Oh, he's not going to make it to the scale at all. I just don't have a lot of sympathy for guys. You make a lot of money in this sport. You want to be a world champion. It's kind of funny to me that you even fight for a title if you have not consistently shown you can make the weight. You put your card on. You put your card in jeopardy, not me. When you put somebody in there that you know is a risk for making weight, I'm not the one that put the main event in jeopardy.
Should there be a 175 division or 165 division?
I heard they were thinking about that. I don't know which one I would do. I could make 165. It wouldn't be nothing sexy, but I could make it. And obviously 175 would be a little easier to make than 170. So, I may dance around with that. I could fight at 185 too. Those are 3 different weight classes. I can fight and be extremely competitive in all of them.
Champ.
You know what? I ain't got a chance to go over here. Everybody else getting a shot at it, but no, I would love to fight in a different division. I walk around 200 pounds, only having to drop 15 pounds wouldn't be a bad look for me at all.
Tyron, you're the second oldest UFC champion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you gonna try to make me be old?
Well, I'm not trying to make you be old, but I'm just curious. Like, do you reflect on
who's the fastest welterweight in the division? Who's the most powerful welterweight in the division? Who's the most experienced welterweight in the division? So, what is So what advantages do you have because you're 24 years old that I don't have? The youth comes in when you're slower. You start seeing it happen when these guys are just too fast, or they're too competitive. But the wrestlers, the infusion of wrestlers. Remember when we first came into MMA? Nobody didn't know what to do. They couldn't stop us from getting them down. Our base was too square and too strong to submit us, and we gave everybody hell. So now, as I said before, I trained 8 years ago from now to outstrike the best strikers, to outgrapple the best grapplers, to outgrind the best grinders, to strategically plan and map myself out. So I'm 36 years old, but I haven't even reached my peak yet. When have we seen me do everything in a fight? Grind, wrestle, strategic, brawl, counter. We've seen moments of each and every fight, and I'm still waiting on that day when I just put it all together, all in one fight.
You ever have any conversations with DC about stuff like this, and you guys spend time together working? But the fact that he's the oldest champ, you're the second oldest champ.
Yeah, but
the aging
DC's a
champion's
little
holding
different
down.
though because DC's style is different than mine. DC has never been an explosive fighter. He doesn't have to do vertical climber, sprint, sled pushes. All these interval training to explode. You guys, once you show somebody that you can dart across the cage and knock somebody the hell out, you guys want to see it every fight. And now it's my job to try to produce those type of moments for you every fight. He doesn't have that. You never expect.
So winning the title, the way you won against Lawler, sort of set you up for.
I mean, that's not the first time I knocked somebody out like that.
No, but that's
When
the way you
look
won
at-
the title, right?
I knocked out Andre Guevara like that, the guy that was training with Wonderboy. Darren Till. I knocked out Koscheck like that. I knocked out Damian Kim like that.
So you had a reputation to live up to.
I've
according to
had, I've had a
fans.
reputation is sitting here, and before you know it, I'm in your face. And the fans want to see that. And nobody can do it better than me. DJ might be able to, but he's nonstop on every moment. But as far as doing it in such disguise and doing it so explosively, nobody's been able to do that. DC, like me, he's shorter than most opponents. So he utilizes that. He does a lot of work against the cage where he can reset. He does a lot of, explosive takedowns where guys are taller can make him do a 360, and then he can ground and pound, and he's just a great competitor. And then 205 is a lot slower. You look at my division, equal power, equal speed. You go down, the power goes a little bit down, the speed increases. You go up, the power increases, the speed decreases. Right at 170, people are punching hard as hell, and they're doing it fast as hell. There's no in between.
GSP said recently that he wants to come back maybe before the end of the year. There was a time where you guys had kind of come to a little bit of like together agreement to fight.
I'm good.
No, you're done. You moved on.
My goal is on beating and dominating who's in front of me. And I'll let you guys decide who that is, because anytime I go and speak about who I want to fight, it's never taken the right way. So my goal and the way that I'm going to be the greatest of all time is dominating and annihilating who's ever in front of me, whoever that is. And I won't be the person that picked it.
You mentioned earlier the life of a champion, versus that of a challenger. Lately, you've been doing, you've got acting, you've got some music. Can you talk a little bit about that? And, how life is different?
A lot of times, people talk about ring rust, and I always says what you do with the time off. Working on Fox and analyzing the sport, and just looking at it from a different lens. And I got a chance to step back. Like, to be honest, did I want to be injured? No, I hate being down, and it kills me because I'm so busy all the time. But it allowed the division to shuffle itself. There was really no number one contender. Like, let's be real. Like, we don't sit there and act like Kobe was a number one contender, or RDA, or Till, or Usman. These fights needed to happen. The division needed to sort itself out, and I got a chance to clear my head. I was nonstop. Like, no other champion was as active as I was. When you're fighting actual number one contenders, not super fights, not a Dan Henderson that's outside of the top 15, not jumping around weight classes. I was fighting the next person that you guys said had what it takes to beat me, and that's who I was fighting. So, has allowed my body to also join it. My body responded well. Diet, training, water intake, sleep, supplementation. I felt like I may have 1 or 2 bad days of training total in this camp. Everything else exponentially every week got better and better and better and better. And I'm able to push harder and harder and harder. Where people just stopping practice, just watching me go. They're just looking at me like, how the fuck does he keep doing this? 5 rounds, 6 rounds, 7 rounds. So I'm just excited. I'm excited that Even at 36, my man tried to give me an AARP card.
I'm 36. Man.
Even at 36, to see that my body still can go just feels good. And, to be honest, like, look at my opponents on paper. Are we gonna sit here and act like my toughest opponents are behind me on paper? Robbie Lawler was a boogeyman to everybody. Fighter of the year 2 times in a row, knocked everybody out. Him and Roy McDonald, him and Carlos Condit, 2 of the best world title fights we've ever seen. He didn't touch me one time. Won the boy, knocked out 1 million people, 7 fights in a row. Had only lost to Matt Brown. Had he had 2 more rounds, Matt Brown would have lost that fight. He just needed 2 more rounds. He got cut short of time. Didn't look like that against me. Damian Maia took down all 12 opponents before me. Was beating Roy McDonald till Roy McDonald found a way to switch the gear. Submitted Carlos Condit, submitted Matt Brown. He couldn't buy it to me. So I'm progressively getting better, and now I got a mindset that I'm just so violent and thinking. Like, I'm just thinking about trying to hide it when the referee can't see and break arms, and I've never thought that way before. And I think that's something that I needed. So I probably need to thank Darren Till. For George St. Pierre, I wanted Carlos Condit. I wanted everybody. Like, I wasn't always the one getting called out. I was the one that's trying, and I didn't ask for the easy fights. I asked for the toughest fights. Diaz, at that time, he might have been the best Strikeforce fighter. That's the fight I was trying to fight. Jake Shields, who was the champion, that's who I was trying to fight. George St. Pierre. When nobody asked to fight Carlos Condit when he was an odd man out. I'm the only one that said I wanted to fight him. And they told me I couldn't because I wasn't ranked. And miraculously, I became ranked, and the fight came off, and I rose to the occasion. So, when you think about Robbie Lawler, Johnny Hendricks, Koscheck, all these different fighters at that time were the best guys. And it wasn't like I was trying to, I want to fight this guy. That's an easy matchup like Kobe. I want to fight Kobe because he's a terrible wrestler. He's going to try to take me down and get beat up. He has garbage hands. I didn't ask for that fight. I asked for the best fight.
So
I know he's going to like it.
Is that your assessment of
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just giving him crap because he's such a pansy for talking all that shit and then getting the world title fight and bitching out. He should be embarrassed.
So at this point in your career, would you say your mental approach to performing is the biggest change? Because you've seen and mastered your physical approach and how you go into each fight. How's your mental approach to fighting changed other than the killer instinct that Till is bringing out? How has it changed, say, within the last 5 years?
I've always, my coaches never have to fight me about getting work out of me. They always get work out of me. I might joke and complain. Like, we was doing a session, this past session, I went ham. And then, all right, Coach Rufus, Duke Rufus said, all right, Tyron, now 2 rounds on the ground pound. And I said, no. Then he looked at me like, you don't know what to say. Like, he just said no. And I'm like, I'm just bullshit and I'll do it. So I might joke around, but they've never had any problems with getting me to work. I've always been internally motivated. I haven't won every round. Like, shit, when I brought Sage out, Sage kicked my butt for a day or 2 before I could figure out what to do with them. You know what I mean? I'm not overly, just arrogant where I can't admit, I got my ass whipped for years at wild card boxing. Didn't stop me from walking through that door. Now I earn that respect. This time around, it's been a focus shift. I think the narrative has been trying to be portrayed as Tyron's so focused on entertainment, music, Hollywood, ESPYs. He's partying, he's doing this stuff. He got all this new drip, and this young kid is so hungry. He ain't seen this kid in a year, and he don't care, and he want the title so bad. I'm gonna let that become the narrative.
So
Meanwhile, I'm focusing. Meanwhile, I'm training like a madman. And meanwhile, he finna get his ass whipped.
So what is the switch? How do you pick yourself up for that? Because you've given yourself the speed, the wrestling, the stand-up boxing advantage over your opponent. So how do you pick yourself up to make sure you don't become complacent as you head into fight a competitor that you've given yourself all the advantage?
One thing that was a theme of Damian Maia camp, because this is a second abbreviated camp. I got 5 weeks notice for Damian Maia. It wasn't that many weeks different than this one. 5 or 6 weeks for this one. And for world champion, that's not really enough time notice to properly prepare for an opponent. But I told myself, am I going to die? No, I'm not going to die. I'm on the treadmill, sucks bad. I want to get off. My leg's burning. I keep making all excuses. You build like a running back. You're not supposed to be doing this long running. Like everything you can think of, but your knees gonna hurt from sparring if you keep running. Like we all go through this. Like if I sit here and act like every day I eat, alfalfa sprouts and I never had a bad meal, I'll be lying to you. But there are moments in time where your mind and your body try to tell you to take the way out. And I just tell it, I'm not gonna die. Losing is way worse than running 5 more minutes. I know I told myself I was gonna run 4 miles at a speed of 8. Which is booking it for me. I don't know about you guys. But when my hands start getting ready to touch that button, I think about losing. I think about losing my belt. You think about losing my belt, I'm getting an instant rematch? Honestly. And the fact that all you guys got the same look on your face, it should tell you exactly what my motivation is. My motivation is to prove my supporters right. And the people that train me right. I always feel like it's spiritual for me. Spiritually, I feel like God gave me the gifts. I've always had adversity. I've always been through hell. Everybody's always told me what I wasn't going to do. But if I focus on what people are saying, the same people that I don't feed, I don't live with, they're not at my kid's birthday party. You know what I mean? I don't talk to them on a weekly basis. I can't allow what these people say or think or want to happen to me take my focus off of me training and controlling my own destiny. Whether it's spiritual, whether it's what I'm eating, whether it's what I'm listening to, whether it's where I'm training, what I allow in my ear gate. No matter what, I can control these variables. I can control, guess what? If I went out there and stomped Kobe Covington, everybody would have forgot about the fact that she called me born against Damian Maia and Wonderboy. They would have forgot. They would have never. When I got knocked out by Nate Marquardt, what happened when I steamrolled Jay Heron, who's my homie. I hate that video keep coming out because he's a friend of mine. Nobody remembered me getting knocked the fuck out against Nate Marquardt. They forgot. That's our sport. So me knowing that, why am I going to focus so heavily on what people are saying now? I beat up Till, I beat up Usman or Kobe or whoever next. I take a belt at 185. You think people are going to remember what they said about me 4 fights ago? So I know that, and just staying focused on what I can control has been a difference maker.
Why are you so sure that the UFC, Dana White, wouldn't afford you that respect in an immediate rematch?
No, I didn't say they didn't. I mean, I'm just saying in general. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, the beast, a stud, clearly knocked out, no controversy. Instant rematch.
Right.
Cody
What makes you
Garbrandt.
so sure you wouldn't get one?
I'm going to tell you why. Did Jose Aldo get an instant rematch? How many years was he a dominant champion? How many years did he lose?
Decade.
At all. Did he get a rematch at all?
Do you think Demetrius will get a rematch?
Demetrius should have asked for a rematch. He stopped Henry Cejudo. It was a close fight. One judge thought he won. Sometimes DJ is a little too nice. He should have said, hey, he didn't have to take away from what Henry did, because what he did was it was a great feat to beat a guy like DJ. Say, hey, he won. I came up short. It was a close fight. I stopped him in the first fight. He beat me this fight. Let's run it back. I know y'all want to see it. Who don't want to see a third fight? Everybody wants to see that, but and I'm not DJ's manager. I'm not here to tell him what to do, but I feel like you got a big opportunity right at the end of the fight to tell people what to think, to tell people what they want to see. You know what I mean? And he didn't do that.
Do you think he won that fight?
It was close. It was close. I think it's hard to say. Henry Cejudo reminded me of DJ a little bit. He was so resilient to the game plan. Like DJ stopped a lot of shots. DJ popped up a lot. Henry didn't do a lot of damage, but he kept DJ from being on his feet as much and looking so dynamic and being so explosive and being so versatile. He really stopped him. I mean, Henry landed some good combinations on his feet. I don't believe that you have to beat the champion to win. I think you just got to win the fight, and he might have done enough to win the fight. I mean, 3 judges, one of them said DJ won, 2 of them said Henry, so I'm just kind of right on the bubble. But it was still a great fight.
Most important is CM Punk versus Logan Paul. Who you got?
Logan Paul said he
How about
Logan Paul said he did he fight the KSI guy?
Yeah.
Who won?
Saturday.
Who won?
Draw.
Draw, was it a good fight? They both look kind of athletic. Hey, you know Logan Paul's a wrestler, right? He's like a highly acclaimed, like state champion type wrestler. So I heard he's a real deal. I mean, he looked like an athlete. But I mean, everybody want to call out Punk. Punk is working his butt off. So I'm always gonna have respect for Punk. He's still in the gym. So anybody got a problem with Punk, they got a problem with me. That good? Cool.